I've got a plot ruiner for you about getting divorced, and it's probably not what you think. Here's the thing. If you let it, divorce will teach you so much about yourself and who you are. I know that's what it did for me. Before I got divorced, I felt sort of listless and like a shell of a person and almost disembodied from who I really am. But going through that process changed everything for me. I always say, look, you're going to be bitter or better, and you get to choose. I chose better, and I know you're going to choose better too. And one of those things that's going to come up for you, whether you know how to describe it like this or not, is you're going to get really clear on what matters to you. What are your core values? And normally, like, you hear the words core values about work, right? Like Wells Fargo's core values or whatever, and it seems this lofty idea. But all I mean is, what are the things that are all the way me in every situation, no matter what? So, like, the way I had this presented to me at first to really get clear on who I am is, if I was picked up and dropped off in the middle of the desert and had to find my way back to society and making a new life, what am I going to do? How am I going to act in every situation? And can you do that for yourself? Can you do the mental exercise of, okay, if I wasn't around anything I currently know and it's just little old me and I'm in some whole new environment, what are those things that no matter what, I'm going to continue to be that way? And then when you get clear, think of them like a rock. Like I'm envisioning in my mind holding a rock here and here and here, maybe 3 or 4 of them, that no matter what, this is going to be who I am. And like for me, one of those, for instance, is no matter what, no matter where I am, I've got to act in alignment with how I feel inside. Or if I act out of alignment, I'm going to be grouchy, miserable, kind of mean, short-tempered, unhappy, get sick, and nothing will work out. So for me, a core value is acting really in a line with that still small voice inside. Maybe one for you is full integrity in every situation. I'm always going to do the right thing no matter what. And if you get really clear on what these are, you can even write them on a piece of paper and stick them on your bathroom mirror. And they can guide your decisions throughout the process as like a North Star of, okay, I don't know what to do in this situation, but I can consider what are my core values and act in accordance therewith. Ladies, there's a lot of press out there telling us to find work-life balance. Balance, balance, balance. But I don't know about y'all. Anybody try to be on a balance beam lately? How well would that go for you? Like imagine a lot of us did it when we were like 7, 8, 9 years old, going back to a balance beam and trying to find your way. I don't know about you, but I'd be very like, woo, 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 woo. When you're getting divorced, it's gonna feel really woo, like you're 3 on a balance beam. And I always say, I really don't believe in balance, to be honest. Usually I'm giving more to one thing and less to another thing and just doing the best I can. I think less about finding balance and more about finding self-compassion. And what that means is in your divorce, you're gonna do stuff you're not proud of. And the lead up to the end of your marriage, you're gonna behave in ways you really don't wanna find on the Jumbotron someday. You're going to say things you don't mean. You're going to act in ways that are not consistent with your best interest or your kid's best interest. It's just part of it. And rather than balance, I suggest you really find a way, and when y'all figure out how to do this, you tell me. I'm still working on it. To be kind with yourself. A lot of people have these mean stories in their head all the time. You screw everything up. When you're getting divorced, those voices are not going to get quieter. Right? Because you're going to add him in. He knows what your voices are. You've probably told him in the past, right? Every little bit and piece that you've given to him in time may come back around like a rock to the mouth. I don't know how else to say it. Where all of your insecurities and fears may now be used against you. And so here's the thing. You've got all of this information coming at you about how you're a screw up, you're a loser, everything's terrible, you never can finish anything you start, and these things in your mind. And so what's really required of you is less about balance and more about just being okay with doing your best. And only you can know, are you doing your best? Every day when you get up, are you trying hard? And when you stumble, you get back up. When it goes south, do you learn and move on? I think as women, it's really hard for us to do this in the divorce context or otherwise. But I think if you focus on that compassion, it acknowledges the difficult, sometimes almost like choiceless situation that you're in and calls it what it is and leaves room for the growth and the becoming, right? We're all just becoming. We're all on this journey home. And we're all just becoming. And this divorce is part of that becoming for you. So forget balance. Try self-compassion. If I were going to go back and get divorced all over again, I would real quickly try to figure out my one question. Now, bear with me. This is a little example that a bunch of these like business people use in their books about the 2000 British rowing team who wanted to go to the Olympics. Like I think it's like rowing in a boat, and I don't even know where they're rowing, but whatever. Anyway, the point is, these people wanted to go to the Olympics, and they were not really Olympic quality rowers yet, but they wanted to get there. So they created one question by which they would make every single decision on their journey to the Olympics. And that question was, will this make the boat go faster? Do I want to go on vacation? Will it make the boat go faster? Should I eat this yummy cheeseburger? Will it make the boat go faster? For you, your question is your version of will it make the boat go faster? Because when you get divorced, you're going to start with the end in mind. You're going to know where you're headed. And that will help you ask that one question. Will this email, text message, court case, pop off Facebook rant get me closer to or farther away from where I'm trying to get at the end of this thing? So if you use that one idea, it really can become the framework through which you make every single decision in your divorce. Will this thing I'm thinking of doing get me to where I'm going or not? If yes, do the thing. In advice with your lawyer and everything, of course. If no, don't do the thing. It really can kind of be that simple once you get really clear on where you're going. Ask your one question. Getting divorced really can grow you up. I say that from experience. Going through a divorce and like everything that came after that really matured me and grew me up as a person. Now, naturally as a person, this may surprise y'all. Some of y'all that know me, it does not surprise. I can run a little hot. Get a little excited, get a little reactionary, get a little animated. And I'm now 41 years old. And that's tempered down a whole lot from like me when I was 30 years old and getting divorced. And what I learned through the process is reacting like that and losing my focus didn't serve me and didn't help me. And like this lesson I carry forward, I've literally had to do it even today to keep the main thing the make thing and stay focused. There's this quote by Viktor Frankl that between stimulus and response is a space, and therein lies your freedom. So what you're going to do in your divorce, there's going to be some stimulus, okay? Don't get lost. It's not like a science thing. Just like something happens. And between when this happens and your reaction, even if it's a millisecond, there's a space. And what you do in this space gives you the freedom to make a new choice here. So thing happens, there's a space, here's your reaction. So what you're going to do to stay focused and really clear on your goals and acting in accordance with the person you want to be is to, in that space, make it as big as you can. Can you take a big deep breath? Can you go outside on a walk? Can you exit the mediation room? I know that's what I had to do. That's what it looked like for me. In my mediation, in my case, there was all this super duper pressure from all these men, my ex, the mediator, both lawyers. Everybody was a man except for me. And they all wanted me to settle. And I said, everybody stop talking to me. I'm going outside and I'm going to the Dairy Queen and I'm getting a Diet Coke. And I literally walked across this little highway in nowhere, Texas, and got a Diet Coke and took a big deep breath so I wouldn't lose my cool, lose my temper, and came back in with a whole new perspective. So maybe what you're going to do to keep your focus is walk across to your own version of the Dairy Queen and get a Diet Coke and then come back. Because remember, the more they push and the faster they want you to move, the more you're going to stay still. And for me, it's just about finding that space, owning my power and my confidence to say, I need a second. And taking the second before you just react. And it doesn't feel as good in the moment because you're going to want to pop off. And you're going to want to say something right now. Hurry. And you're going to want to respond to him quick, because, oh my God, I got to answer. He just texted me. But remember, you're divorcing this person. Think more like a business to business level of time frame. Like, I'll respond to him tomorrow. Do things like sleep on it. And then keep your focus laser on what's my one question? Will this get me closer to or take me farther away from where I want to get at the end of this thing?